Hi Scorpio, how's it going? I hope you're doing fantastic today. Welcome to my channel, or welcome back to my channel. My name is Lynn, and I'm going to be doing a Celtic cross spread for you. These are the cards. I've already cleared the energy. So I'll go through each card individually. I've made a whole bunch of notes on your reading. So yeah, if you receive any guidance or insight from these messages, please let me know. I would love to hear from you. And I'm just channeling these messages. These messages are not from me, okay? Unless my intuition picks something up, I'll let you know. Otherwise, these are just channeled messages. So your first card represents your current situation, and you have the Queen of Swords. So the Queen of Swords is about clarity, truth, having strong boundaries, emotional independence, and seeing through illusions. She's not cold for no reason. She's wise because of what she's been through. So this is either you or someone in your life, or she could represent a current situation, male or female in a general reading, okay? So you're Scorpio, I'm a Scorpio too. So Scorpio is typically emotional and intuitive, but right now this card says that you are thinking more than feeling. You're stepping back from emotions to look at things logically. You're cutting through confusion or lies. Someone may have shown you their true colors, or you're realizing a truth that you can't ignore, or you're setting firm boundaries. You're no longer tolerating behavior that drains you or disrespects you. And this card could also indicate that you're being guarded, a little bit guarded. You may come off as distant or blunt, but it's a form of self-protection. And I just pulled a daily card. If you want to go back on my videos and look at it, it was protection that came out yesterday. In relationships, you might be detaching emotionally to gain perspective. You could be having honest conversations with someone, or tough conversations, or you're deciding to cut someone off if needed. You're making clear, strategic decisions. You're not letting your emotions interfere with your judgment. You're seeing situations for what they really are. But be careful, because with that, you could become too cold or overly critical. Maybe you're shutting people out completely instead of just setting healthy limits. Just be careful not to let your heart get hard, right, Scorpio? Stay in your truth, but don't lose your heart while protecting it. And then what's crossing you, or what's challenging you or your situation, or what it could be what you're celebrating, is the Seven of Swords. This card is about deception or hidden motives, or it could be sneaky behavior by you or other people, or it could be avoidance or not facing something, or it could represent strategy, but sometimes in a dishonest or indirect way. So this card could be saying that someone may not be honest with you. There could be lies, secrets, or half-truths. Or maybe, Scorpio, you might feel like something is off, but you're not sure what it is. You don't have proof yet. Or it could indicate that you're avoiding something, avoiding a truth. You see something clearly with the Queen of Swords, but this card is saying that, are you actually acting on that truth? You might be avoiding some kind of confrontation with someone, or maybe you're keeping to yourself. Or it could mean that you're not fully owning your feelings or actions. This card could also indicate trust issues that are being triggered. Scorpio, you could be guarded for a good reason. This card, the Queen and the Seven of Swords, this combo together is saying that you've learned the truth, or you've faced it or accepted it, and now you're like, what do I do with this? What do I do with this truth? The Queen of Swords is about clarity, truth, and honesty, and this card is about deception, avoidance, and strategy. Okay, so together it's tension between knowing the truth versus dealing with dishonesty, either internal or external. But what you should do, Scorpio, is trust your perception. You're not imagining things, and don't ignore any red flags. Ask yourself if you're being fully honest too, or if you're avoiding something. You see the truth clearly, but the challenge is navigating some kind of deception or some kind of avoidance, or some trust issues without losing your integrity. Okay? You see something as it is. You've accepted it as it is, but now your challenge is trying to navigate it. You're trying to navigate this deception. You're trying to navigate this kind of avoidance, or you're trying to navigate trust issues, but you don't want to lose your own integrity while doing it. That's the hard part. How do I deal with this situation without and still have my own integrity? Okay? And then you have the Knight of Wands for your foundation message. When this card comes out upright, it's about passion, action, and bold movement. But when it comes out reversed, it can show impulsiveness or reckless decisions, or hot and cold energy, or a lack of follow through. It could represent burnout or scattered focus, or someone rushing in and out, inconsistent energy. So as a foundation card, this tells you that everything is built on instability or inconsistency. Instability or inconsistency is the root issue. So someone, either you or another person, may have been in and out, or saying one thing, and doing another. You know, when their actions don't match their words. Or this could be someone, either you or another person, who's acting on impulse instead of intention. Be careful of that, Scorpio. Don't act on impulse, okay? Take some time out for yourself and do what you feel. The answer is, if it gives you good intention, that's what you do. If it doesn't feel good intention, don't do it, okay? This directly feeds into the Seven of Swords, trust issues, confusion, and avoidance. This card could also indicate burnout or misdirected passion. So you may have put a lot of energy into something that didn't stabilize, or you acted quickly and now you're pulling back to reassess a situation, which leads to the Queen of Swords energy, stepping into logic and having boundaries. This could represent a person with unreliable energy. This could point to someone around you who is charming but inconsistent, passionate but not dependable. This could be tied to the sneaky energy of the Seven of Swords. Okay? Your foundation is chaos, inconsistency, or impulsive energy, which created your situation. And so now there's mistrust or avoidance or hidden truths. But you, Scorpio, are stepping into clarity, truth, and strong boundaries. You're coming out of a messy situation. You're coming out of a messy, unstable situation, and you're now seeing everything clearly. But you're still dealing with the fallout of inconsistency and possible deception. Don't go back to inconsistent energy. Call out what feels off to you, or just walk away from it. Slow down before making your next move, and choose clarity over passion if they conflict each other. Okay? Choose clarity over passion. And then your fourth card represents your past, but is relevant to your current situation, and you got the Two of Wands reversed. When this card comes out upright, it's about planning, direction, and choosing a path forward. But reversed, it can show indecision or a fear of change. Maybe you're staying in a comfort zone for too long. It's a card of a lack of planning or a lack of direction, missed opportunities, or wanting more but not acting on it. This card tells you that so this card indicates what in the past is influencing you now. So, Scorpio, you may have delayed a decision. You may have known that you needed to leave something or someone, or you needed to choose a new direction, or you needed to take a risk, but you hesitated or stayed stuck. And that hesitation allowed unstable energy to grow. That's the link to the Knight of Wands, your foundation card. Or you stayed in something that wasn't aligned with you. It could have been a relationship or a job or a situation where you felt it wasn't right, but you didn't act on that feeling. So this opens the door to the Seven of Swords, a confusion, mistrust, or avoidance. And this card could also represent a fear of the unknown. You may have chosen familiar discomfort over uncertain growth, and now you're dealing with the consequences of that delay. So far, you avoided a decision, You stayed stuck and you didn't move forward, which led you to chaos, inconsistency or unstable energy. And now there's mistrust, avoidance, or hidden truths. But you're finally seeing clearly and setting boundaries because of all of this. You ignored or delayed a choice in the past, which led to an unstable situation. But now you're waking up to the truth and you're reclaiming your power. Then your immediate future card, what's likely to happen very soon in your life, is the Nine of Cups reversed. The advice from Spirit is to don't repeat the past by hesitating again. Make the decision you avoided before. Trust your clarity now. It's hard-earned. And move forward even if it feels uncomfortable. This reading is actually very powerful, Scorpio. It shows growth. You're not stuck anymore. You're realizing. And then you have the wish card. When it comes out upright, this is the wish fulfillment card. It's all about happiness, satisfaction, getting what you want. But reversed, it shows disappointment or unmet expectations, temporary pleasure but deeper dissatisfaction, realizing something isn't as fulfilling as hoped. Or it could indicate overindulgence or emotional emptiness. So it could indicate for your immediate future, something won't feel as good as expected. You may get what you thought you wanted, but then it just makes you feel meh. Or you may realize a situation or person isn't actually fulfilling you. And this connects strongly to the earlier cards, especially the instability and possible deception. This could be an emotional reality check. This is a moment of, this isn't making me happy anymore, or something that can be disappointing, but also clarifying. It pushes you deeper into that Queen of Swords energy, truth over illusion. Or it could indicate letting go of illusions. If you were holding on to some kind of hope or fantasy about something, then this card says that the illusion is breaking down, especially if it's tied to the indecision from the Two of Wands or the inconsistency from the Knight of Wands. So you delayed a decision in your past. You got caught up in something unstable in your foundation. Now you're dealing with mistrust or avoidance, which is your challenge. But you've gained clarity now with your present. And in the near future, you realize what truly doesn't fulfill you. This isn't a bad card, it's a wake-up call. This is the moment, Scorpio, where you decide you stop settling. You stop chasing surface level happiness. And you start asking yourself what actually fulfills you. What you thought you wanted isn't enough anymore, and that realization is freeing, not failing. Okay. The outcome you desire most in your situation is the Three of Cups reversed. Upright, this is about joy, friendship, celebration, connection. But reversed, it can point to distance in friendships or distance in relationships, or it could represent a third-party situation or a messy dynamic, or it could indicate feeling left out or disconnected, or superficial connections instead of real support, or you're choosing solitude over socializing. You may want distance right now. Even if you're not fully conscious, you may be wanting to pull away from people or a situation. You're needing space to process everything. And after the Nine of Cups, this makes sense. Something isn't emotionally fulfilling, so you withdraw. Or you're letting go of a third party or messy situation. And this strongly echoes the Seven of Swords. It could be gossip, it could be interference from others, or even a love triangle or divided loyalties. Your outcome or your desire is, I just don't want to be a part of this anymore. That's how you're thinking. You just don't want to be a part of this anymore. You're choosing authenticity over fake connection. You're no longer interested in surface level connections or forced happiness just to keep the peace. Okay? You're pulling away from people or situations that aren't genuine. You're outgrowing a situation that once seemed exciting or promising, but it is now revealed as unfulfilling and possibly unhealthy. You're likely to distance yourself from certain people in your life, or you're walking away from drama, dishonesty, or shallow connections. You're choosing peace and truth over social harmony. Not everyone gets to come with you into your next chapter, and that's exactly how it's supposed to be. This reading is actually very transformative. It's not about loss. It's about discernment and leveling up emotionally. And then your self-image card, how you see yourself, is the Star card, Aquarius energy. This is all about hope and healing, renewal after hardship, authenticity and vulnerability, and faith in a better future. How you see yourself now, Scorpio, is someone who is healing. Despite everything in the spread, the confusion, the disappointment, the withdrawal, you see yourself as in recovery, not in defeat. You're still hopeful, even quietly. You may not show it outwardly, but internally, you believe things will get better for you. You're reconnecting with your true self. You're letting go of any chaos. You're letting go of indecision. And you're returning to authenticity and inner peace and emotional clarity. The outward situation is messy, disappointing, or distancing. Your inner self-image is hopeful, healing, and aligned. This is powerful. It means you're not lost, Scorpio, even if your situation feels like that. You see yourself as someone who has gone through something very difficult, but you're coming out wiser, clearer, and more aligned with who you truly are. You may be walking away from a lot right now, but you trust that you're moving towards something better. This is actually a very strong placement. It shows inner strength and emotional evolution. And then your environment, or how others see you and your situation, is the Three of Wands. This card represents expansion and forward movement, waiting for results, planning for the future, turning your back on the past, and looking ahead. So how others might see you? Well, others might see you as someone who's moving forward. People around you see you as leaving something behind, or focus on what's next, not what's ending. Even if internally you're healing, externally you look strong and future focused. So others also see you as being patient but intentional. Others may feel like you're waiting for the right opportunity, or you're not rushing, or you're outgrowing your current environment. People might be sensing that you're on the verge of something bigger, or that you're no longer fully invested in where you are. And this connects with the withdrawal from the Three of Cups. Internally, you're healing and you're hopeful, but externally, you're moving forward, you're expanding. Inside is recovery, outside is progression. Even if you feel disappointed with the Nine of Cups, or detached, or withdrawn, others are actually seeing growth, direction, and strength. You may not fully realize it, but people already see you as someone who is stepping into a new chapter and leaving the past behind. You think you're just trying to heal, but the world sees you rising and moving forward. This is a strong external energy. It suggests opportunities or new paths are opening, even if the emotional side is still catching up. And then your hopes and fears is the Magician reversed, Major Arcana. Upright, this card is about power, manifestation, confidence, and taking action. But reversed, it can show self-doubt or a lack of confidence, feeling powerless or blocked, manipulation by yourself or others, not trusting your own abilities, or a misuse of power or intention. So you hope what you want. Scorpio, you want to take control of your life. You want to manifest something better. You want to feel confident and empowered again, especially after the disappointment of the Nine of Cups and the walking away from the Three of Cups. But you're afraid that you don't have as much control as you thought, or you're afraid that you've been misled or manipulated, or worse, that you made the wrong choices yourself. There's internal conflict here. This is a powerful tension. The Star, your self-image card, is saying you're healing and you believe in better. But the reversed magician for your hopes and fears is saying that, but what if you can't actually make it happen? So for you, it means you're hopeful, but not fully confident yet. Okay? You're questioning your power and judgment. You're afraid of repeating the same mistake. Or you're afraid of trusting the wrong thing again. The guidance from this card is to rebuild your confidence slowly. Don't rush into manifesting or controlling outcomes. And focus on alignment, not force. Recognize awareness equals growth. You are not who you were before. You believe you can have better, but you're scared you'll mess it up again. This is actually a very human and honest placement. It shows growth, but it also shows humility after a hard lesson. And then your future, if all is to remain as is the Nine of Pentacles. So this card represents independence, self-sufficiency, financial, emotional, and personal stability, enjoying the rewards of your own hard work, luxury, confidence, and self-respect. So the long-term outcome for you, Scorpio, is 1, full independence. After all the chaos and lessons from the Two of Wands, indecision in the past, the Knight of Wands, inconsistency or an instability, Seven of Swords, the deception or confusion, the Nine of Cups reversed, the disappointment, and the Three of Cups reversed, pulling away from others. What happens is you end up completely self-reliant and grounded. Yay, Scorpio. You no longer depend on anyone for validation, stability, or happiness. You've built it yourself. This is a card of confidence and empowerment. Even though the Magician reversed showed lingering self-doubt, this card shows that you will regain confidence. You'll trust your abilities and judgment, and you'll feel secure in your choices. This is the payoff for the Queen of Swords clarity. Scorpio, you have learned to make decisions wisely. And then this card can also represent enjoyment of life. Your long-term path includes peace, comfort, and enjoyment. So you may find a stable home or financial security. You may find strong personal boundaries or time to enjoy your passions and independence. Scorpio, you've navigated challenges, you've faced disappointments, and you walked away from what didn't serve you. Now you can truly stand tall and enjoy your own success. Scorpio, you are moving from chaos, mistrust, and emotional disappointment toward clarity, independence, and empowerment. You will emerge strong, self-sufficient, and grounded. The challenges you faced were essential lessons in discernment, boundaries, and trusting yourself. Even if the world was messy or disappointing, you will ultimately claim your stability, confidence, and peace. You did it, Scorpio. The phoenix rising again. You were hurt, you were disappointed, you had to deal with a lot, but you came out wiser and stronger. You went from betrayal to sovereignty. This is your journey through deception, heartbreak, and then ultimate independence. Well done, Scorpio. That's strength. I hope you received some insight or guidance from these messages. If you did, please let me know. Thank you so much for allowing me to channel them today. Take good care. I'll see you next time. Bye.